Let's begin our discussion about teaching writing by discussing 4 principles for teaching writing, which are given by Nation in his book ESL Teaching Reading and Writing. So we'll look at these principles, and we will see to what extent these principles we as language teachers can employ to enhance our pedagogy, right? As regards the question whether we should see writing as a product or process, the answer is evidence suggests that it should be seen as a process because it involves many psychosocial skills like how to plan, organize, then how to write spelling, grammatically correct sentences, making the use of appropriate words. So we as language teachers need to design tasks in such a way which invite and encourage students to bring in meaning-focused input, which encourages them to bring about their own experience and knowledge when they write. I mean, whether the knowledge has been acquired through first language, so they can translate it into the second language. So in terms of choice of topic, we need to make very informed and careful decisions. And we need to keep in view the socio-cultural and socio-economic, even religious backgrounds of our students. We shouldn't give them topics which may be sensitive to their religious, socio-cultural sensitivities, right? So these topics should be designed and given in such a way which activates students to employ and exercise the knowledge gained in the first language, and to what extent they can transfer that knowledge into the second language. So overall, it should be a meaning-focused writing should be seen as a meaning-focused input. I mean, of course, we are producing, and this is why it's called productive skill. But we are also storing information. We are also storing knowledge through writing. So the input we bring into writing should be meaning-focused or meaningful. Then meaning-focused output, which means students should be given lots of practice to write, rewrite, and rewrite. And they should be involved in terms of organizing, planning, drafting, and revising. So, of course, different genres. Let me just clarify what I mean by genre. For example, writing shopping list is a genre, and it has its own constraints and requirements or demands or conventions. Writing a business letter is a different genre, and it has its own conventions. So each genre has its own conventions, and it's constrained by its demands, right? So when we want to enhance the output of the students in terms of making them produce meaningful texts, we need to expose them to different genres, a variety of genres. I mean, it's not that they are just exposed to letter writing or essay writing. We need to expose them how to write letter informally to a relative or a friend. So these are different genres which we can develop awareness in our students. So the message should be meaningful, which is produced through the written text. Then we've got meaning-focused output, which is to use writing to increase language knowledge of the students. Not only their spelling, lower levels of skill, word choice, but also the uh, I mean, coherence and cohesive, have to use the uh, uh, make the use of different linguistic choices such as coherence and cohesion, actually. So, in this regard, it's important to do a proper needs analysis together, which means to gather information about the needs, for what needs the student will have to write, whether they need writing for business purposes, whether they need writing for medical purposes or tourism purposes. And then there should be language focused learning, that the student should be able to recognize different parts of writing process. For example, how to plan, organize, synthesize, edit, draft. And it's high time for us as language teachers to develop some successful, effective strategies in our students. And in this regard, the teacher can give evaluative feedback, constructive in a constructive way, and the teacher can make student follow some effective and successful models of writing. Then the fourth principle is fluency development, which is, of course, we cannot keep our student write slavishly. Rather, there can be situations where there will be time-bound activities. So we can develop this speed element, and this can be possible if we continue to expose them to repetitive activities and using material which is easy and familiar. So we have seen these four skills, and I hope that you will find these very effective in terms of developing your students' competency and strategies and skills of writing.